Assalamu alaikum class. Today we are going to attempt the chapter number 4, exercise of chapter number 2 with the name of self test number 4. Actually this chapter was about the detail of the verbs that covers the area of verb, primary verb, modal verb and tenses. We are starting with question number 2. Why we have left this question number 1? Because question number 1 involved the concept of subject verb agreement, and that is lying in chapter number 7. When we will study the concept of subject and verb in chapter number 7, then we will attempt this question number 1. Here we are starting with question number 2 that involves the concept of correct use of verb. So let's start with the exercise. Okay, insert the correct tense of the verb. Muazzam dash simple and dash easily. Fine. And he is provided with the three verbs is, can and trick. Now we see how we are going to switch the form of the verbs to convey the correct meaning of this sentence. Muazzam is simple and can be easily tricked. Here this clause of the sentence conveys the state. We have read in chapter number 2 about the functional use of simple present, that whenever we want to represent the nature of something, we always use the present tense. Here in the first clause, the nature of Muazzam is being shown, that Muazzam is simple and can be easily tricked. Fine. Whenever we are going to use the passive structure of a sentence, we always use the third verb form, and can be easily tricked whenever an action is being done on an object, that Muazzam is simple and what is being done on it, he is being tricked. So this part of the sentence is passive, and so that's why I have used the third form of the verb, and can be easily tricked. Number 3, my guest dash before I dash. Right? Whenever we use a tense, again, send out the coordination of, in chapter number 1 we have read the coordination or combination of sentences. Same as the way we use the tense in the combination of other tense. For example, past follows past. This is the rule. Whenever I use a past form of the verb in one clause, the other form of the verb might always be past. Fine. My guest had gone before I reached. An action which has been completed before I reached home. So my friend had gone before I reached. Now come on to sentence number C. When he dashed out of cinema, the rain dash stopped. Again the past follows past. When he came out of cinema, the rain had stopped. An action had completed before the completion of other action. The rain had stopped before he came out of the cinema. The train dashed before he dashed the station. The train had left before he reached the station. Again, the past follows past. A sentence is having whenever a sentence is having one past form, it might always be having the other form as past tense. Jamal dash ill yesterday, so he dash not the school. Jamal, yesterday is there. Whenever this adverb of time is there, past adverb of time is there in the sentence, it always use the past form of the verb. Jamal was ill yesterday, so he could not attend the school. I have changed this can into could. Why? Because I was using this past form of the verb in my first clause So my second clause must always be used with the past tense, and this is a modal verb. Modal verb always use first form of the verb with this. So the next verb is attend. It is being used in the present form. Next, question number 3. Insert the correct tense of the verb. Again, the sentence is about the correct use of verb. Now we see, I dash go to Paris on holiday last year. It is a beautiful place. Fine. Okay. I dashed to Paris on holiday last year. Again, the adverb of last year is there. So instantly I should keep in mind, whenever an adverb of past is there, I must use the second verb form. I went to Paris on holiday last year. It is a beautiful place. The information is being told to us about the past event. Number 2. I dash of buying of latest version of the cell phone for the last 6 months. Fine. I am thinking of. Why? Because an action is in progress of buying of latest version of the cell phone for the last 6 months. For the last 6 months, that is a present. Which form? That is a present progressive tense. Fine. So what I will be doing, I am thinking, I am rather planning of purchasing something, of buying something. That is for the last 6 months. He dashed his lunch before I reached home. Again, one of the clause of the sentence is having past form. So I must use which form? He had his lunch. You can always use simple had, or you can always use he had taken his lunch before I reached on. And the completion of one action before the completion of other action. Again, we move on to sentence number D. My son dash see this cartoon so many times that he knows all the rhyme by heart. No, my son, he knows. This shows that one clause of the tense is in the present, so I must be using the other tense in the present family. My son has seen. Fine. This present coordinate with the other present family member, that is present perfect with simple present. Fine. No, number E. Mrs. Ikram is extremely conscious about her fitness and only. Again, this is simple present family. I'll be using the other part of the clause, the other part of the sentence or the other clause with the present family. Only eats organic food. Number F. 6 months ago, no one dash. Here has been given as a verb over here for this blank about Natasha. But today she is the most popular TV artist in the company. Again, ago is there. Whenever this adverb is there, we always go for the past form of the verb. Fine. 6 months ago, no one heard about. No one had heard about, or no one heard about. You can always use had as well. Had heard about Natasha. No one had heard about Natasha, but no, she is the most popular TV artist. Fine. Number G. I dash on the essay for the last 2 days, but I still haven't finished it. I have been working on the essay. Again, present perfect progressive. Have been working on the essay for the last. Why? Because this for has been used as a conjunction. Whenever our time is being informed, we see that an action is in progress. Number H. At the time of incident, only a few customers in the supermarket. It means that an action is being told to us that is in progress. At the time of incident, only few customers were shopping. An action is in progression, so I am using this progressive form of the verb. The bus dashed very fast when the driver lost control and it overturned in the mountainous region. The bus was traveling and action was going on. Was traveling. Why I'm using the progressive form of this verb? Why? Because because we have been informed about the instant result from the action. So I am using this progressive form of the verb over here in I. The recent widespread flood have resulted. Flood, you can always use singular verb. Has resulted in the, if there would be floods, you could always use have. The recent widespread flood has resulted in loss of valuable human lives in the low-lying areas. He dash, the next sentence is, he dash prize-winning Ratul variety of mangoes for the past several years. He has been growing. Again, an progression of action is there. So we are using he has been growing. Sentence number L of question number, which is question number 3. The remaining part of the sentence is, you can call me in my office at 8 a.m. tomorrow. I dash the office by then. I will have reached. Again here, what is in the context, which combination in the context of the sentence? Present with future. See, whenever we see the correct use of sentences, we see 3 combinations must be there. Whether it would be one clause of the tense is in present, the other clause must be in the present. One clause of the sentence is in present, the other might be in the future. Here we see that the one clause of the sentence is present. You can call me, this is in present. No, I have the option to remain the other clause in the future or in the present. What I have used, why? Because it is tomorrow is there. So the adverb of tomorrow is there. So what I am doing, I am using that will. He will have reached the office by then. My brother has passed his driving test today. Today is there. Fine. And an international driving license will be. Issue is there. So I'll be using will be issued. Will be issued. Issues had been provided us as a verb. I am using the will be issued to him. The sentence is passive, that the brother will be provided with an license. Look at the clouds. Most probably it is. Look, an action is in progress. So what is I am doing? It is going to rain very soon. Fine. I dash in my office all day tomorrow. I will work in my office. It is an intention about the tomorrow. Fine. So I am using with it modal verb will. The accident on the motorway 3 weeks ago. Ago shows the past adverb of time. Whenever it has been provided to us, we always go for the past form of the verb or the past participle. The accident on the motorway happened 3 weeks ago. Number G, if wishes were horses, everyone would ride them. Would is the past form of will. So in the context of were, I am using would over here. This time last Thursday, I dash in the examination hall. What is the tense provided to us over here in R? That is sit. I am provided with the verb sit, so I need to use the correct form of this tense. This time last year, I am sitting. This time last Thursday, I am sitting in the, fine. Okay. No, last Thursday is there. Fine. Whenever the last Thursday is there, I must always use the past context. So I must be using this time last Thursday I was sitting in the examination hall. Okay. Past follows past. Now we move on to the other part of the self-test question number 4. Fill in the past tense. No, he has restricted us with the two form of the verbs, whether we must use past tense or the past participle, third verb form or the second verb form. He has not yet dash to exercise. Has is there. Has always take third form of the verb with this. So what I will be using, he has not yet begun to exercise. Began to exercise. He stopped dash and rang the bell. He stopped and rang the bell. Stopped and rang the bell. Okay. She has, again has been provided, has always take third form of it, the verb. She has often sung that song. Okay. The treasurer sank in the bottom and was. The treasurer sank in the bottom and was lost. Past form of the verbs. The river has always take past participle with it. The river has overflowed. The overflowed its banks. The cart loaded with hay went slowly along. The cart loaded. Past form of the verb is loaded. He removed his coat and hung. Past form. Hang, past form of the verb is hung. He was hanged. Hanged early this morning. Fine. This is the question number 4. Now we move on to the last question. Okay. Now we move on to question number 5, which is the last question of this self-test number 4. Put each of, now we have been providing a list, provided with a list of phrasal verbs. Phrasal verbs means they have a definite meanings in that particular word. So we are going to use that particular phrasal verb in the context of the sentence. See how we do it. The growing use of credit cards may ultimately do away with. This phrasal verb means that credit card do away means with that can be replaced with, or that can overcome the use of cash altogether. That it means that cash might be replaced with the use of credit card, or the cash might be not in fashion, and that would be an old-fashioned thing, and credit card would replace it. Number B, the subject of higher salaries will probably come up. Come up means that would be in the next would be at the next meeting, means that will be raised or that will be presented in the next meeting. I do not think that he will ever completely get over. By get over means that he will not be able to forget that event. Fine. He will not be able to adjust into that matter. Fine. Get over his wife's death. He will always miss her. Okay, that was the remaining part of the sentence. Number D is, would you like to bring up? Bring up means, would you like to bring up any other meeting before, any other matter before the meeting closes? Like you want to present any other thing before the meeting closes. Number E is, she is not very strong person. I am afraid she might break down. She might collapse. She might not be able to hear the news. Fine. She is not very strong person. I am afraid she might break down after when she hears the news. Number F, I waited nearly an hour for them, but they did not turn up. Like they do not reappeared or they do not reach to that destination. I am depending on you to pay me back the money on Monday. Please do not let me down. Fine. Do not work against my hopes. I would like to put forward. Put forward means I would like to present a new proposal. He expects to come into a lot of money in his grandfather's will, like he's going to achieve a lot of money in his grandfather's will. After all the trouble you have taken, I hope your plans do not fall through. Do not get failed. So these were the phrasal verbs which have their particular meaning and they were used in a particular context. This was the exercise of complete exercise of chapter number 2, fine, which was about the verb, and this is very important question. Examiner always please come up with a question of verb in your paper, so please focus on it. I'll be attaching practice exercise for your more practice.